Hi, welcome to this webcast. My name is Henry Jacob. I'm working as a senior architect in Arrk. The objective of this presentation is to take you through the technology trends, challenges, and opportunities, and also look at toolsets and our capabilities, and how do you approach these challenges, and how you look at new projects. If you see the enterprise technology trends over the years, there are new paradigm shifts happen every few years, and these changes brought in new technology, new tools, and new solutions, and also new way to develop and deliver software systems. So it started from mainframe to client server, web, web 2.0, and what we call the cloud and mobile applications. This is explains the modern application lifecycle. You start with an idea, you make an idea to a working software, you deliver to the production. That's why the customer do the value realization. You do the continuous monitoring and measure, and that's leading to actionable learning. And that goes back to the further development. So all this leads to what we call the continuous delivery. So there are challenges in order to achieve this on various levels. The first thing is to how to design usable products and services, how to make them available in all platforms and devices. On the architecture side, how do you make them modular, and what technology and platform to use, and how do you deliver quality software on time and budget, and finally, how do you deploy and monitor scale our services on cloud. These are some of the fundamental challenges software development facing today. If you look at design, and we believe this is the one of the hardest single part, it's about deciding what to build. So in order to make it right, you need to understand what makes a great product or a service. So the four aspects: a product has to be useful, usable, desirable, and accessible. That lead into a functional requirement to in order to make it useful, and the usability requirements to how to make it simple to the user to use it. Desirable, the look and feel, the color, and how you structure your interfaces. And then finally, the accessible side, how do you make this system available on all devices. That's where the concept like mobile first, responsive design, and building a native apps come into picture. So making the right choices in terms of requirements, it's about balancing these different elements: your business goal, your functional requirement, and the technology and non-functional requirement, and that's feed into what we call the user story, or the software requirement which need to be built. Arc follow a defined a proven process for the requirement analysis. It starts from defining the objectives, identifying the target audience, and defining their goals, and getting into defining the various scenarios, creating a wireframe, and finally converting them into a user stories, which will be delivered to the development team. So this process enable any development team or any software team to capture what is required in the first place. The second challenge is in terms of the technology and architecture. We always believed building using the right tools and technologies, and also take a balanced approach in terms of what is there and what is required in the future. In the past, we have built various projects, and majority of them fall into this major category of technology framework. The first is the .NET. We build both web as well as the desktop applications using various Microsoft tools and technologies, including BizTalk and SharePoint. The second is Java. So there are plenty of framework to choose, but there are a few framework like Start, Spring, and Hibernate. For various customer, we also used Spring MVC and other popular MVC framework. We used Mule as a ESP engine, Alfresco for CMS, as well as the workflow engine as well. For a few of the recent projects, to get the productivity, we used the Groovy and Guides. The third platform, which is we are successful, is Ruby on Rails, and also a few PHP projects for the CMS implementation using Joomla and Drupal. On the database side, we have used Oracle, SQL Server, Postgres, and MySQL. On the NoSQL side, MarkLogic and Redis. We have used Redis as a queue engine, as well as the cache server, and Memcache for in-memory cache. When it comes to mobile application, there are three ways to develop a mobile application. First step is to make them responsive so that they can adapt to a different screen size and also the different devices. We use frameworks like Bootstrap, Less, and the Foundation. On the cross-platform side, we use HTML5 and JavaScript based mobile framework and package them using a phone gap, which works pretty much for majority of the cases. But there are cases where we need to build native apps in order to take advantage of other device features like GPS or cameras. So those places we have used a native approach using Android and iOS tools. When it comes to enterprise architecture, all our application used service-oriented architecture as a core architecture in order to make it interoperable, and also ESP for making enterprise integration possible. We also build web services using SOAP as well as the lightweight REST framework. Then we used workflow engines to make them configurable and also CMS engines wherever it is required. On the scalability side, all applications, the focus is on making them stateless so that it is not going to be dependent on an individual server. For the performance side, we worked on code optimization, denormalization in terms of database wherever it is required, and also using the caching extensively so that we can now save quite a lot of time on hitting the database side. The next step in terms of getting the modern application lifecycle, it's about aligning the process with the implementation cycle. There are a few methodologies are very fundamental to the way we approach software development. The first thing is the test-driven development. We insist on better coverage using a unit automation as well as a functional automation. Also, we use review automation as much as possible in terms of both syntactical as well as the on the in the design level, and the continuous integration to keep watch on automated review as well as the automated test whenever the new check-ins are done. Some of the technology we use in this side is JUnit, Selenium, Cucumber for functional automation, SOAP UI for web service testing, and JMeter for load testing. There are review tools, also the dashboards like review dashboard like Sonar is being used. On the continuous integration, for majority of the Hudson and Jenkins are preferred continuous integration server. There are cases we have used Bamboo as well. The other methodologies which connects the deployment side is about the continuous delivery, review automation, delivery automation, and DevOps. Delivery automation involves automating every aspect of how you deploy your code so that there is a less dependency on the admin resources. So whenever there is a code has been checked in with a few scripts, it can automatically kind of promote it to the production. The features like DevOps, which brings developers into production support as well as the customer support, so that gives the opportunity for the development team to see how these systems are used, so how the users are using our system, and that's leading to a better feedback and the better improvement to the projects. The tools we use on the deployment side is a Git and SVN as our source control system, Maven for builds, we use Scalar for cloud management, and Opsweave and New Relic for continuous monitoring purpose. The role of the cloud is very important in achieving this continuous delivery possible, because this brings flexibility in terms of how you scale your system, not just in terms of production, even also maintaining the other support environments like development, testing, UAT environments. There are two types of clouds, public and private. Both has the pros and cons. The public comes with the scalability and kind of incremental capacity and the cost advantage. Private, you have much better control and also you have closer monitoring in terms of security. The cloud providers can be categorized into four type of providers. We have been taking advantage of these various providers. Amazon is our preferred infrastructure service provider, and we also use Microsoft for a few of our Microsoft based applications. On the PaaS side, we experienced or used Amazon relational data service. On the tool side, we use SendGrid for email delivery, GitHub for our storage, source control, CloudFront for S3 and CloudFront for our asset delivery, and New Relic for application monitoring, Blitz for load testing. On the software as a service side, we leverage Rally as our project management tool, and Confluence for our collaboration, Jira for the defect management system, and Scrum Do or Basecamp and other tools like Salescamp for our communication purposes. I hope this gave kind of overview of tools and technology what we use and some of the challenges and how you address them, and also how do you work towards the continuous delivery of your projects.